1000 subskrypcji i oszalał.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Adam and welcome to my channel. Well, when I started this analog journey, I made a list of cameras that I knew I wanted to try in my lifetime. And today we'll be talking about one of them, the iconic Yashica T4, also known as Slim T if you want the one with the data back. I'm guessing they named that cause it shed off the weight of its predecessor. Wish I could say the same. Anyway, this bad boy was a collab between Japan's Kyocera and Germany's Carl Zeiss AG. It was released in the 1990s and since then made famous by influencers and fashion photographers. Anywho, I have had this camera for about 6 months now and it has become my everyday carry ever since. So today we'll be going over the camera and I will be giving you my 2 cents. And it's up to you whether you take it or simply throw it in my face. So just like any good story, it starts at the train station. And the train totally wasn't delayed a couple of hours at 7 AM on a Friday morning. But I finally got on the train and was headed towards the capital, Warsaw. And here's where I loaded some Portra 400 in the T4. Off the bat, one thing that's annoying with this camera, you have to feed a lot of the spool in, not just the tip. It usually takes me 2 or 3 tries. Now, I am not sure if this is just my copy or just T4 in general, so if you know, let me know. Let's talk about the lens. The whole reason why people take out a mortgage just to buy this camera is the lens. It's a Carl Zeiss f3.5 lens. Zeiss lenses are known to be incredibly sharp and give the Zeiss pop. And no, it's not a soda. It's basically high micro contrast that apparently makes your images look alive and real, which could be a blessing or a curse. Anyway, to have this on a small point and shoot is really great. And the images from the T4 are definitely sharp, renders great color and is really impressive for a point and shoot. But compared to regular cameras, sorta like my channel, Anyway, I checked into the hotel and took a much needed shower because I stink, not just photography wise. So for today's itinerary, I'm gonna meet up with my friends again. We're gonna chill a bit, then walk around town. Gonna go see Doom 2. By the way, the movie's been out for like 3 weeks now, and it's still sold out almost everywhere. We were lucky enough to actually grab 3 seats. So I'm hoping it's really good, but to be honest, I'm just going there to see Timothy on the big screen. Yeah. I then met up with my buddy Jojo for some breakfast at his place and walked around the neighborhood. Alright, so I'm not tall enough for this fence, so I'm gonna have to put my hands over the fence. It's gonna be a blind shot, but it might turn out good. But knowing my skills, it won't. Gotta say, not bad. The composition and colors are great. Here's where we found a local flea market and decided to walk around. The T4 is so light, compact, and from my experience, the autofocus really misses, that it just might be perfect for street photography. Plus, thanks to the design, people are less intimidated, you know, compared to a heavy professional looking SLR. So it sort of looks like you're a tourist and pay you no mind. Let's get to know our camera. It's a 35mm point and shoot camera, which means you basically have no control. All you gotta do is point and press the shutter. It reads ISO from 50 to 3200, so basically you're set for any film stock coming your way. Don't put in respooled film in this camera, unless you wanna fish your film in a dark secluded place. So on the top you have the shutter button, the self timer, I believe you have 10 Mississippis, and here you have the flash modes. It goes from auto, red eye reduction, flash on, flash off, you know, just like that quote from the Karate Kid, and finally infinity mode. Here's the viewfinder and 2 dots on the side. If it's green, it means all good. Green and red means that it will shoot flash. So the battery compartment is right here. It takes CR1238 batteries. And on the other side, here's where you pop open the back and put in your precious film. In order to turn on the camera, you just simply slide this over and the lens should pop out. Good old Carl Zeiss. And finally, on the bottom side, you have a tripod socket. And this little button here is just in case you want to rewind your film before the 36 exposures. So yeah, the more you know. Anywho, I parted ways with Jojo for a bit and went back to the hotel. I bought some water, etc. cause by the time I'll be back from the movies, everything will be closed. So better to stock up now. I love this photo. Thanks to the building, it creates this narrow space and it makes your eyes go straight towards the subject. And I love the color of the newsstand that seems to be similar to the building on the right. So one thing that's pretty cool about the T4, it has landscape mode, so it focuses to infinity, which is great if you're shooting behind glass. So yeah. We met up with our buddy Adam, not related, and Jojo seemingly got the point and shoot itch and decided to get his first camera. And his first camera is a Leica. So instead, he got a Mu 1. Now, if you're wondering how Jojo's point and shoot journey is coming along, well, he put 5 O's in and it never woke up again. Which brings us to a very important topic, electronics. Now, the huge downside with point and shoots is that they are fully electronic, and sadly most repair shops won't fix them or it will cost more than what the camera is actually worth. Most of these cameras are 30 to 40 years old and that ticking clock is getting louder and louder. So buying a point and shoot is a gamble, and when that day comes for the T4, I'll be taking a week off from work. Portfolio shot. Anywho, we decided to take a subway and head towards the river for golden hour. Alright, we gotta do it. It's golden hour. Let's get busy. Now, I know this should be a separate video, but to be honest, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. So for those who are new to my channel, I actually own the T3 Super, the older brother. And the whole reason why I wanted to try the T4 was to see the difference. I mean, it's literally twice the price, so it better be, right? So one day I put Kodak Gold in bold and took the same photos without flash. The T3 Super is a bit more contrastier and the T4 has this airy feel to it. And the T4 is slightly sharper, but is it worth the $250 difference? So that's when I started wondering, why is there such a huge price gap? I mean, they both have Carl Zeiss lenses, and from my experience, they both have great autofocus. So I started thinking, Yes, I do that. Well, one, obviously the hype. A lot of influencers and celebrities actually use the T4, and that doesn't help the price. Wink wink Kendall Jenner, wink wink Contax T2. Reason number two, the T4 is newer, which is important because it pushes that ticking clock further away. And finally, look, I should be the last person to body shame anything, I'm disgusting, but the T3 Super is built like a tank, and it sort of defeats the whole everyday point and shoot carry idea. I mean, with the T4 it's so light, compact, that I just have it around my neck or in my pocket and I barely even notice it. And because of that, it makes me want to shoot it and has become my backup camera and just in general documenting my life. But with the T3 Super you can sort of feel the weight, and it might not fit into every pocket. So yeah, that's sort of the rundown and my 2 cents. So image quality wise, the T4 is slightly sharper, but ergonomic wise and just being an everyday carry, that's where it makes the major difference. Adam is focused, photographer and hairstylist. Alright. You look good. Alright. Anyway, golden hour was over and we ended the day with some Italian food, and later on we watched Timotei on the big screen. And that's the end of the roll and the video. Thank you so much for watching, I truly appreciate it. My final thoughts on the T4, it's good, sharp, compact, rarely misses focus, and just in general a great point and shoot. The only annoying thing is loading it, but that could be my copy's fault and not T4 in general. And it is also worth mentioning that I was lucky enough to find this camera way cheaper than what it's currently going for. And that's the main reason why I was able to pick up this beast. Because to be honest, for what it's currently going for, I probably wouldn't have bought it. Especially for a ticking time bomb. Not because the camera isn't good, it's great, but I tend to make it a point to not spend too much on point and shoots. So if you're able to find one that's cheap or money is an issue, then by all means go for it. This camera gets the job done. But if you're looking for a cheaper alternative, I highly recommend the T3 Super. It's just as great, you know, if you don't mind the size. Anyway, huge shout out to Jojo, Adam, and Timotei for the great time. It was really fun. So yeah, like, subscribe, you know, do all that jazz. And I'm off to watch Dune 2 again. Take care.